So, we're about to dive into a poem that has been echoing for over 700 years. It's a Persian ghazal from the one and only Ameer Khusroo, and it's truly one of the most powerful expressions of mystical love and deep, deep longing you'll ever come across. It really feels like it's speaking directly from a soul that's just waiting for the divine. And the poem just explodes right out of the gate with this incredible rush of hope. It's not a wish, it's a certainty. News has reached me. This sets a tone of this urgent, almost feverish excitement. The speaker is so sure, so completely devoted, that they're willing to offer their own life, just as a tribute to the very path the beloved will travel on.
So I want you to think of this poem less like just words on a page and more like an urgent message, right? A desperate call being sent out into the darkness. We're going to trace the emotional journey of this plea, all the way from near despair to this place of absolute, unshakable faith. And who's the person behind this powerful voice? Ameer Khusroo. I mean, this guy was a true genius of his time, a pivotal figure in Sufi mysticism. His poetry isn't just literature. You have to see it as a kind of spiritual practice. It's designed to bring the listener and the speaker closer to the divine. And that context is absolutely crucial for understanding the real depth of what we're reading here.
But that initial burst of hope, it's immediately followed by this raw, almost brutal sense of desperation. This is not some patient, quiet waiting game. No, this is the anguish of a soul that has been stretched to its absolute limit, and it's hanging on by a thread.
Wow, this line just screams life or death urgency. My soul has reached my lips. That's a classic Persian idiom for being at the very moment of death. The poet is essentially saying, my entire existence depends on you getting here right now. If you're too late, your arrival is pointless. This isn't just about desire anymore. This is about spiritual survival.
And this brings us to the central paradox of this kind of mystical love. I mean, how can anyone possibly endure that level of pain? Well, it's because, deep down, underneath all that anguish, is this unshakable faith that the beloved will come. The certainty of that future reunion is the only thing that makes the agony of the present moment bearable.
And now, the poem kind of shifts gears. It's not just about the lover's pain anymore. Now it's about the awesome, almost dangerous power of the beloved. See, trying to connect with the divine isn't some safe, simple activity. It is a high-stakes game.
So here Khusroo brings in this incredible metaphor of a spiritual gamble, a qimar. With just a single glance, like a roll of the dice, the beloved has already won his heart and soul. And what's the lover's response? He doesn't back down. He raises the stakes, offering literally everything he has, this world and the next. So on one side, you've got this effortless, overwhelming power of the divine. And on the other side, you have the mystic's response. And it's not resistance. It's total, absolute surrender. It's a complete letting go of the self, all for its chance at that union. And the intensity just keeps building with another really potent metaphor. The beloved drinks a wine made from the blood of the people, which is a symbol for the very lives and souls of the devotees. And then Khusroo throws out this warning. It's almost a challenge, suggesting that this divine intoxication, well, it has consequences.
Okay, and this part is super important. We are not talking about literal wine here. In Sufi poetry, meh, or wine, is one of the biggest symbols for divine love or spiritual ecstasy. So, to be intoxicated means to be completely annihilated, totally absorbed into the presence of God. This is the state the mystic both deeply fears and desperately desires.
So, from this peak of high spiritual drama, the poem builds to its ultimate declaration of faith. The plea now goes beyond the boundaries of life and death itself, basically saying that this love is the single most powerful and inevitable force in the entire universe.
I mean, this is one of the most famous couplets in all of Persian poetry, and for good reason. The certainty here is just breathtaking. The speaker is telling the beloved, you actually don't have a choice in this. The gravitational pull of this love is so strong it will draw you to me. If not in life, then in death. You will come.
And in a world that is so full of uncertainty, for the mystic, this divine union is the only thing that is absolutely guaranteed. It's a truth that's more fundamental than life or death itself.
Khusroo then makes this idea of surrender universal. He uses this image of desert gazelles willingly offering their lives to the hunter, suggesting that this kind of loving submission isn't just a human thing. It's the natural state of all creation when it comes face to face with the divine.
And just when you think the poem has hit its absolute peak of emotional intensity, Khusroo drops a final couplet that completely reframes the entire plea. It's a stunning twist that just leaves you in a state of total awe.
Think about it. The whole poem has been this desperate plea for one single arrival. But here, in the final lines, Khusroo just takes a step back and marvels at the devastating power of that one event. He's not just begging for it anymore. He's contemplating its infinite, overwhelming potential. It's such a beautiful shift from pure longing to pure wonder.
And this is the question the poem leaves us with. It stops being a plea for a quick visit and becomes a meditation on the nature of an eternal union. I mean, if a single glance can undo a person so completely, what would it even mean to live in that presence forever? It's a thought that really captures the boundless, maybe even terrifying and beautiful heart of mystical longing.